A tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat. And the Star Tugs are the power behind the docks and waterways that make up the big city port. This is Tugs. The early morning sky hit it harder in Big City Port. The water was looking gently in Big City Port. The sun was shining weakly through the few clouds left from last night's storm. It had been a rough journey, but I had to give my tug several of the orders. A large oil line tank had run aground last night's storm, and before she could be loaded, all of the guards be shipped off, and there will be a very handsome reward for delivering them safely. Alright, Captain Star. You had made one of the best of deals ever. We're on a search for it. Zoran and Zack were mooning around the corner listening to every word. Zoran grinned slyly at Zack. Their reward will go very nicely for me. Let's follow them. Later that day, the Star Tugs were on a settled mission and chatted merrily to each other, unaware they were being followed. Oh, it should be the last of it. Warrior had later sewed the cargo in, but he didn't notice Zoran cutting hidden between the barge. The barge had been set to run aground. Yes, slow down is the biggest problem. I'll move over to here. Later, Zoran waited till Zack tied the rope, and then steamed quickly to hide the barge. Meanwhile, the Starfleet had reached the tanker. Big Mac looked round. Warrior, what happened to your barge? Warrior looked behind him, and in surprise, I don't know. What was gonna happen? Well, we switches had to barely even know how to handle it, as they were not built to do such. Alright, you boys, I guess I'll follow on. Captain Suds came from upriver as he deliberately collected Mighty Mo for the job. Oi, Captain Suds! You're the only tug left who's handling things. Oh, 10 cents, this would have barely been a reason to do such. Oh, trust me, we switchers barely even had this possible. Captain Suds went behind Mighty Mo, and Mighty Mo's crane arm was hooked onto the liner. So 10 cents and Sunshine being coupled up together to the tanker, Big Mac was to the rescue operation. The tugs had barely gotten it out. Later that evening, it was starting to get dark. Zoran came out of his hiding place at the barge. With the help of a crane, he had lifted several more cargo into the barge. Now it should be enough to get Big Mac look like a shame. The barge was running dangerously, but suddenly, Little Ditcher told him to take the cargo to another ship moored outside the harbour limits first thing in the morning. Later, the Stars and Captain Suds had yet to figure out with the rescue operation. Sunshine, help me figure out with the law and order. Get the Coast Guard, he's right there. I'm on sighting duty. Anyone nearby? Oi, Coast Guard. We need some more law and order getting over with. Well, that could have been possible, 10 cents. I mean it. I'll go get the law and order vehicles right away. Apollo and Artie were when laboured port, but to all of a sudden they heard trouble. There's danger nearby there, Artie. Yeah, what are we gonna do with it? I don't know. Let's get the Coast Guard running. Ugh, be at yourself then, Apollo. We need to do something a little bit faster, Major. Later, the Coast Guard arrived with Apollo and Artie. Apollo and Artie? What the heck are you guys doing here? These were the only offices of Big City Port available, so you're gonna have nothing left to deal with me. I guess I'll see you then, from the port limits. Wait! Coast Guard, come back!
Oh dear. Looks like the situation all comes to an end.
Oh, we're not gonna prove we're useless. Soon Captain Suds and Big Mac suddenly struggled, as they really did manage to get the Starline oil tanker back. Whoa! Apollo and Artie barely got anything for a simple plot.
Thank you. Well done and nice operating situation. Will you ever get that oil line back?
Nice, Near. I am not dealing with this. Careful what you wish for, you just might get it, 10 cents. Oh man.
No matter how much the operation was, I don't think I can handle this much.
Oh, I'll advise I'll take you back. There's surely not going to be enough tugs there. Captain Suds, why don't you stay here and then my team will be picked up later? That looks like a perfect idea, man. Let's go over. We'll soon settle this over with. Later, at the crack of dawn, Zorn set off looking forward to the reward he'd be getting ahead of him. He could dimly see the outline of the Freightner looming up. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Johnny Cuba was known to be a smuggler. He was a friend of Captain Zero's. Recently, the Zeds had actually been given strict instructions from Captain Zero never to have any dealings with Johnny. Zorn did not dare disobeying Captain Zero. Even with him saying, I'll just have to release the barge and no one will see me. I can creep back into the port. Later, he was caught red-handed by Sunshine. But an idea formed in Zorn's mind. He knew what Sunshine had to do best. Hey, Sunshine, can you help me? Seem to be losing sight. I have to get that barge across to the freighter. Yeah, sure thing, Zorn. Let me help. He took the barge and struggled across the bay. As he came close to the dirty freighter, he knew it was Johnny Cuba. I've been warned about him by Captain Star. I think I'll go and try get the Coast Guard. There's some suspicious activity going on. Sunshine ran back to get the Coast Guard. Later, Sunshine approached the Coast Guard, out of breath, but regaining. Johnny Cuba is lurking outside the harbour, waiting for his barge. Well, if he says, let's take a look in that barge. Well done, we've been looking out for this lot for some time. Ha-ha! Later, the Starfleet were gathered to congratulate Sunshine. Congratulations, Sunshine. I'm afraid there's no reward for that tanker. Why not, Captain Star? But it turns out the Law and Order has stated that the tanker has been arrested. By a little bit of help with the Coast Guard and the Law and Order have left available. You mean Apollo and Artie? Well, they're just police officers having some sort of idea what they're doing. Brilliant. I thought Captain Star would ever reward us. Wouldn't they, Abby? Preferably not. Well, our friends have encountered that big city port has gone through some law and order. The Star Tugs are correct in saying this, that apparently the tanker that has been entered had been arrested. Although the good tanker was safely relieved by both Big Mac, 10 cents, and Captain Suds, as Johnny Cuba realized he has done enough trouble for one day. The Law and Order Police and Coast Guard would have been thanked enough. But wouldn't they?